Welcome back to Brick City, boys. US Open quarterfinals has just wrapped up. We went 3-4-4 on picks. So if you're following along, good had some good bets there. Um, Coming into the semi-finals, we've got Yannick Sinner against Jack Draper from the UK, who's made his maiden semi-final, and we've got an All-American clash. Taylor Fritz is taking on Francis Tiafoe. So the first semi-final there with Yannick Sinner and Jack Draper, this one should be pretty straightforward. Yannick Sinner should have no issue getting through Jack Draper. I just hope it's a competitive match. Draper is the 25 seed. At the moment could get to him with it being his first semi-final, and by far this is the best performance he's had in any Grand Slam in his career. Yannick Sinner, he's been there before, won it, wore the t-shirt, wiped his ass with it. He should shit this one in pretty easy in straight sets, I think. So look for like a 6-2, 6-3, 6-2 there for Yannick Sinner. That should be easy money. You might, I don't know, Sinner's been having these weird dips in form where he'll just randomly drop a set. Like we just seen in the Medvedev match, he just had a lapse of concentration and forgot how to play tennis basically in the second set and dropped it 6-1, and then consequently went on to, thrash Medvedev in the third and fourth sets. So I'll take a straight sets victory for Sinner, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is in four sets just due to the random dips in form that he seems to have. He seems to get in his own head a little bit, but then he always picks his form back up. He made the semi-final here last year as well. So, yeah, look for him to get through and make his first US Open final. Now, the other more interesting final here, especially if you're American, is the other semi-final with Taylor Fritz and Francis Tiafoe. Francis Tiafoe made the semis here and lost. That was 2 years ago. And Taylor Fritz, this is the first time he's broken through and gotten to a semi-final. Taylor Fritz, heavy favourite. He's played brilliantly. I don't think he's been taken to 5 sets the entire tournament. He's barely dropped a set. I think he's dropped 2 sets in the entire tournament so far. Francis Tiafoe is kind of having a bit of a Cinderella run through this tournament. The crowd love Tiafoe. They really rally behind him. He is sort of their boy. I feel like it'd be interesting to see which way the crowd goes for this match with them both being American. I actually think that people will get behind Francis Tiafoe a little bit more than Taylor Fritz. He's a good character. He's relatable. The people love him. He's a good personality. He's got an exciting game. He's a heavy hitter, powerful hitter. So I am actually going to take Francis Tiafoe. I think it'll be in 5 sets. And I think that'll set up Yannick Sinner versus Francis Tiafoe. So let's have a look. I think Tiafoe's been the underdog in the last 3 matches that he's actually had. And he's basically just had such a good run of form. I think he's played himself into a state of belief where he genuinely thinks he can win this tournament. He did mention something about a month ago where he was, he kind of come to this realization that he was losing basically to meddling players that have no business being on the court with him. He sort of said as such, and he sort of picked up his form from there. So he's in a good mental spot. Taylor Fritz, even though he is technically the more consistent player, fringe top 10, he's got sort of in and out of the top 10 a lot in his own career. He is technically better than Francis Tiafoe. He's got a more complete game. He's got more weapons, more ways to win, and he's more consistent with his results through the year. Having said that, he does tend to let the moment get to him. He is a player that will get in his own head, and he'll let the moment sort of get to him. So I think you're going to see an interesting crowd dynamic there where Francis Tiafoe is going to feed off the crowd a lot more than Taylor Fritz, whereas Taylor Fritz will probably be letting it get to him a bit more, which I think will be play a big part in the composure of both players. And yeah, I think that's where we'll see Francis Tiafoe come through in 5 sets, I think. Now, I haven't done women's picks, but I will add that on to the end of this video purely because I put $10 on Jessica Pegula after round 2 to win the US Open. And she's actually through to the final now against Sabalenka. She's played well. She took out the number 1 seed, Iga Swiatek, in the 4th round, if memory serves. But she's going to have a tough time against Sabalenka, who is has just crushed everyone basically that she's played. I don't even know if she's dropped a set this entire tournament. So interesting there. Obviously, I'm going to take Jessica Pegula because I've got money on her. She is American, so look for look for the crowd to kind of help push her through and carry her through a lot of the big moments. Again, it is a tough task against Sabalenka, who has won Grand Slams. This is Pegula's first Grand Slam final, but I'm going to call the upset. 3 sets, Jessica Pegula to win her maiden US Open Grand Slam. All right, thanks for stopping in.